Hey, it's Liam from Pushthware, here today to talk about the PlayStation 5's Create functionality. Since the PlayStation 5's DualSense controller was first revealed back in April of this year, we found out a lot about the inner workings of the controller, such as how its haptic feedback functionality will result in a greater sense of immersion when playing next generation titles, and how the adaptive triggers will work on certain games. But if there's one thing we're still not sure about, it's this little button right here, the DualSense's Create button. A successor to the PlayStation 4's Share button, not much is known about the Create button just yet, so we thought it would be fun to talk about what we already know, how we think it will work, and also address some speculation and rumours about what it could potentially bring to the table. Before we start, if you could like this video and subscribe to the channel, it would really help us out. Let's talk about Share, my guys. New features for the PS5. Okay, so here's what we know so far, and to be honest, the answer at this stage is very little, to be honest. We know that it's represented by a new symbol. On the PlayStation 4's DualShock 4, the Share button was represented by a vertical, rounded button that had the word Share written across the top. However, on the DualSense, the same button is set at a slight angle and is represented by 3 lines shooting off in different directions, presumably to represent sharing to multiple sources. Other than that, we only have this statement by Sony's Hideaki Nishino. When the DualSense was first unveiled, he said, quote, "With Create, we're once again pioneering new ways for players to create epic gameplay content to share with the world or just to enjoy for themselves." There's a few things that we can discern from this. I think we can say pretty confidently that the majority, if not all of the features currently included as part of the PlayStation 4's Share functionality will make their way over to the PlayStation 5. This includes the ability to take videos and screenshots of your current game, the ability to then share this content across a range of social platforms, the ability to clip these videos to a shorter length, everything that's currently included within the Share Factory app, including the ability to edit and add additional effects and overlays, the ability to create animated GIFs, which I didn't even realise they'd included, but that's been there since 2016 apparently. I think we'll see a return of SharePlay, the functionality that allows you to share your screen with another PlayStation 4 user. This allows you to either just watch your friend play through a game, or it also lets you join in, allowing people to play couch co-op titles via the internet, which is by far its best feature, and of course the ability to live stream your gameplay to popular streaming platforms such as YouTube and Twitch. So I think we can realistically expect that all of these things will be present on the PlayStation 5. They've proven hugely popular for Sony. After all, the ability to share screenshots and videos has become quite a common feature of modern day consoles. Now, we can't definitively say what Sony will include as part of the Create button functionality, however, we do have one little hint via a patent that Sony filed for in November 2019. This patent referred to something called scene tagging. The idea is that when you're playing on your PlayStation 5, presumably, and you take a video or a screenshot, the PlayStation 5 will automatically attach a number of pieces of metadata to your content. The idea is that these pieces of metadata will include things like the game you're playing, the section you're on, any items that appear in the content, any boss fights, etc, etc. Then, when this piece of content is shared widely within the PlayStation network, other players can find specific parts of a game that they might be having trouble on or are looking for help or tips or whatever that might be, and they'll be able to find a lot of content related to that specific moment. So for example, let's say I'm fighting a big old robot turtle in Horizon Forbidden West, and I'm struggling. I keep dying repeatedly, so I go into my PlayStation 5 UI, I perhaps search for this specific boss battle, and the PlayStation 5 returns a bunch of videos of people completing this section for me to have a look at and get right back into the game and progress past that point. There's also potential for perhaps being able to watch specific moments from a friend who's been playing something and you jump in to that specific mission. Mark Cerny already talked about how the UI will allow you to jump into specific parts of a game. This idea that if you have a mission that needs completing, or if your friends are already in a multiplayer lobby, you can jump right to that point in the title by simply pressing one button. Scene tagging feels like it will be included within the PlayStation 5 as part of its sharing suite. It seems very in line with Sony's approach to the next generation, which is to provide a system that lets you jump right into what you want to do with absolutely no blockers. So that's what we know and that's what we can probably expect. So how about things that we'd just like to see included? For starters, we'd love to see the ability to directly export files to computers. At the moment, getting something onto your PC can prove a little difficult, and we'd like the ability to perhaps upload our videos and screenshots to the cloud, so we can export them to our smart devices and computers. No more uploading clips to a private YouTube channel to download them for use elsewhere. We can probably reasonably assume that all video capture and screenshots will be done in 4K resolution, especially seeing as the system will support this resolution by default. One thing that will be really interesting is some form of system level photo mode. Photo modes have proven incredibly popular during this generation, and it would be nice if the Create button had some common photo mode features built in to that one button press. Now, we're not saying that the Create button should give you the full suite of photo mode options afforded to most titles, like the recently released Ghost of Tsushima, for example. Things like depth of field and changing weather effects have to be done in-engine, and game engines are way too varied for one system-level photo mode to provide all of that functionality to every release. But even just the ability to apply some nice filters from within the PlayStation 5's default UI would be an appreciated addition. Within that same vein, it would be nice if the functionality found within Share Factory was bundled into the system level Create mode. It would just be nice to be able to add graphics such as text, filters, and additional sound and music without having to boot up a separate app. On the one hand, this would just be handy to have if you're looking to maybe share some helpful gameplay tips with friends and you want to add some voiceover to a clip, or you want to put some words on the screen to try and guide people to the right outcome. Also, part of me just can't help but think of when I was a kid, how much I would have loved to have this suite of creative tools at my fingertips to share funny videos with friends, or just learn about basic video editing by pairing it with my favorite pastime. I just think that any kind of creative tool set included for free as part of a system UI is always a great addition. Now, live streaming has become incredibly popular over the past decade, and since the release of the PlayStation 4, it has grown exponentially. The live streaming capability on the PlayStation 4 is very good. I think it really does the trick for people who want a really quick and easy way of sharing their gameplay to the wider world. However, it would be nice to see some additional live stream functionality added as part of the PlayStation 5's Create button. For starters, it would be nice to change the layouts and overlays. At the moment, you are stuck with this right-hand column on your live streams that shows things like your PSN and the live chat. However, it would just be nice to maybe move these around and give people the ability to make their streams look as professional as the major streamers who are using PC-based applications such as OBS. It would be nice just to remove those barriers for people who maybe want to live stream more often but don't have the equipment to do so on a more quote-unquote professional level. Maybe you could customize where your webcam is on the screen, where the chat is. Maybe you could have things like widgets, so alerts when people subscribe to your channel, when people donate to your stream, things like that. That would be nice. That would be a really nice addition. And also, maybe Sony should let people stream to multiple platforms at the same time. Maybe you could stream to YouTube and Twitch simultaneously. Just a nicer way to allow people to have more options when they stream to the world. Also, when you think about it, it's within Sony's best interest to remove as many of the barriers to entry for streaming as possible, because the more people who are streaming from a PlayStation 5, the more people are going to watch gameplay of PlayStation 5 games, and maybe that will convince them to buy the console. So, I mean, it made sense to me. Well, there you have it everyone, a nice little video speculating and talking about potential features that could be included as part of the PlayStation 5's Create button functionality. What would you like to see that Create button do? What happens when you press that button? Let us know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and make sure to subscribe to Push Square for everything PlayStation. I'll see you next time.